Hey, how's it going everybody? Burnt Brian here. Tonight I've got a cooking video for you. Now what I'm going to show you is a very simple recipe, but it's probably one of the world's most famous sandwiches that doesn't really get a whole lot of attention these days. And I'm talking about the Elvis sandwich. It goes by many different names. I like to call it the Hound Dog Special. I've made it for some friends in the past, but the version I'm going to show you tonight is a little different. I've only done this one other time, and I thought I'd share. It's definitely unique. It's something a little different off of the traditional way of doing this. And I've also incorporated some You've Gotta Be Nuts peanut butter from my friend Alex over at Snack Jockey Foods in the UK. Of course, I had to give this a little bit of a spicy touch, and I'll tell you, that peanut butter definitely packs a nice bit of punch for the heat factor, and it also has such a great sweet all-natural flavor. So I'm looking forward to trying that. But before we get started with just the actual cooking of it, let me show you all the stuff that you're going to need in order to make this. Alright, so before we get into actually making the sandwich itself, we have to look at what it's going to take to make the caramelized bananas. So to start with, we're going to use 2 bananas. If there's any left over, you can throw it in with some ice cream. It's great with a dessert. We have 2 tablespoons of butter. That's real butter, not margarine. Don't use margarine ever. Here we've got 3 tablespoons of light brown sugar. And I've also got cinnamon, ground cinnamon here. Now I usually use a heavy pinch, so I would say maybe around 1/8 of a teaspoon. And also you're going to need a 1/4 cup of rum. Ideally you want to use dark rum, but since I don't have any, we're going to go with the silver spiced rum. Now typically the rum is mostly just used to flare up in the pan and to caramelize the brown sugar and the butter over the banana, so this shouldn't really affect the flavor a whole lot, but it'll be a slightly noticeable difference. But now let's see what we need for the actual sandwich. Now this sandwich calls for peanut butter, and of course we like to spice things up over here on Burnt Brian's channel, so we're going to use some You Gotta Be Nuts. It's their regular blend, but still has 3 chilies, very, very spicy peanut butter, incredibly tasty organic stuff, so we're going to be using this today. And again, we're going to need another 2 tablespoons of butter here for either side of the bread. Now I imagine the king would have used some sort of Hawaiian very soft style bread, so I just went with a soft Italian loaf and made some nice thick slices out of it. And of course, the one other thing that you're going to need to really make this recipe unique is we've got some bacon. And not just any kind of bacon, some big ass chunks of bacon. It's going to be unbelievably tasty. So let's go to the kitchen and get this all put together. Quick last minute revision. I was going to cook it normally, and you can of course just throw this pan of bacon as is. You got to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. You could fry pan this if you want, but I'm going to try to get it as crisp as I can and get some of the grease out. But we're going to throw on some pure maple syrup and just very simply drizzle some across like so. Okay, and then you're just going to use your spoon to gently spread the syrup across the top. And next up, after you do the syrup, we're going to take some of that light brown sugar, and we're just going to sprinkle some over top. Doesn't have to be perfect. Get some nice big pieces on there. And this is technically candied bacon, so you could use it the same with your ice cream and bananas if there's any left over, and it will be tasty. You just kind of want to spread around your sugar here. You can see it melting in with the syrup there. So while the bacon is in the oven cooking, we're going to go ahead and deal with our caramelized bananas. The first thing you're going to want to do is, of course, take off the peels. You want to come around and cut the whole thing split down the middle. and one more time in half. So you get 4 pieces that are like this, small slivers, and do that to both bananas. So after your bananas are cut, you're going to want to put a small saute pan on the stove at about a medium to medium high heat. And we're going to go ahead and add the 2 tablespoons of butter here. Now that the butter is sufficiently melted and heated, we're going to add our brown sugar here. Got a good mix in. Just like that. Okay, then you're going to take your banana slices and you're just going to lay them down on top like this. Now we're going to let this sit for a very short time. It's only going to take about 20 seconds for this to fully heat. So now we've let this sit about 20 seconds. We're going to add our cinnamon and our rum. Now it's going to flare up, just like so. That's perfectly natural. We're going to let this sit for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds are up, we'll go ahead and flip these over. So the whole idea of doing this is basically you're caramelizing, you're cooking the outside of it. It's going to get nice and soft in the inside and still be nice and crisp on the outside. So we'll let this sit for about another 60 seconds once you flip it, 60 to 90, and then just kill the heat, pull it off the oven. Alright, so now comes the part of the video of putting it all together. We've got our bananas done, and they look mighty nice. Again, now at the bottom of your pan, you're going to be left with a lot of this stuff, a lot of glaze. Save that, we're going to use it at the end. We're also got our bacon here that's been candied with maple syrup and brown sugar. I like mine a little bit on the crisp side. And I went ahead and put the peanut butter on top of the bread. Just a nice layer, whatever your preference is will be fine. So to start, let's go ahead and take the bacon. And all you're going to do is come along with this. And let me see if I can show you better. You're just going to come along and layer 3 big pieces of bacon down across. Alright, next you're going to want to take your bananas and be very careful, they are still nice and soft and warm. And we are going to put 4 slices on here. Okay, then to finish that off, we are going to take, guess what? More bacon. You know what, we're going to save this last piece for later. So that's all you do. Flip this over. Pop your top on. Oops. Just like that. Now, you can, if you use margarine, you can go ahead and butter it now. If you're using real butter, there's 2 different ways you can do this. You can either just let the butter naturally warm up as it sits out of the fridge. It'll be easy to spread that way. Or you can just throw it in your pan, let it melt, and then just dip your bread in there, and it'll do the same thing. But I've let mine sit out for enough time to where it's soft enough that I can spread. So I'm going to go ahead and spread it and put it in the pan, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we just flipped this guy over. As you can see, it's got a nice brown, golden brown crust to the outside. Now, I've got mine set to just under a medium heat. When you're using really thick bread like this, or if you've got a thick sandwich in general that you're going to be cooking, you don't want to have it on too high. It's going to burn the outside of the bread, and it's not going to get all of the ingredients in the inside warm. And that's what you want to do. I mean, most of the stuff was cooked earlier and it still was slightly warm. But, you know, if you're doing cheese or anything else especially, you want to make sure it's a nice slow cook so that it evenly browns on both sides and it doesn't... the inside gets cooked as well. Alright, so that's it. The heat's off. Let's check the other side real quick. Got a nice golden brown on this side as well, so we are done. We're going to take this thing off and cut it, and I'll show you on a plate what it looks like, and we'll give it a taste. Alright, we're done. We put it all together. Now comes the moment of truth. I gotta say though, take a look at that. I mean, that is just awesome. Big sandwich. Alright, let's see how I did. Mm. 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 Holy shit. That is so good. That's why Elvis was fat. God damn, that's good. And he didn't lose all of the heat in the process. There's still a good bit of spice in there, so cooking it didn't lose it. There's a tiny bit lost, but still has a nice little spicy kick from that peanut butter. I think next time I might layer it on a little thicker, or maybe I'll use that Eternal Damnation 12 million Scoville extract peanut butter. I don't know. But this is freaking awesome. Again, something that, if you remember, I told you to save all that juice that was in your pan. I've got it right here in a dish. It is perfect for dipping this into there. If you just want another little sweetener, little something nice added to it, just dip your bread into this, and I guarantee it's phenomenal. It's tasty. This is so good. I shouldn't even eat all of this. This is definitely not a healthy menu item, but it's sure to be a pleaser. I don't care who you are. Feed this to your girlfriend, feed this to your boyfriend, to your husband, to your children. They're going to love you for this. This is awesome. What a great combination of flavor. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I've got a couple more video ideas coming up soon. You got to bear with me. These do take a long time to film, edit, and upload. And I'm, trying to do everything for school right now. So I'm kind of, I'm taking 5 classes. So I'm really kind of getting my ass handed to me. But I'm going to try to bring you these, at least 2 of these a month, maybe 3, if I can. On top of the other reviews and stuff that I'm going to be doing. But thanks for watching, everybody. Go and check out my Facebook page. Join me there, and you can always look at my website, too. I'm trying to do some updates there, hopefully very, very soon. But, yeah, as always, I'm going to dive into this food and just love myself in fat heaven while I eat this. Anyway, as always, my friends, stay toasty.